Alright then. You're here. I'm Tom. Let's write some code. And boop. So, what shall we do today then? I think we can start off with just let me tweak something a second. That's a bit better. Yeah, okay, so let's start off with something which just occurred to me very recently. We've been keeping this console window open so that the item that we're getting doesn't cache the WebAssembly file, but we have somewhere no, we don't have a node server running, do we? So we can't tell it not to do that. But what we might be able to do in the index, is it the index or let's have a look. So here's the fetch command. So what if we add onto this parameter something like this, or how do we get the milliseconds? Get milliseconds. Now, get the milliseconds of a date. I don't think that's what I want. Let's have a look quickly. And something else I'm going to do is let's see if I can get the audio levels tweaked and see how they're sounding. Let's have a look here. What do I want to do? Number one, I want to there. And try that out. Okay, yeah, that's actually really good. Good. Let's put that back on. So, what was going to do? Get Unix timestamp in JavaScript. Date.now. There we go. So now, theoretically, if we go into settings and uncheck that, network and refresh the page. Let's have a look. That probably didn't work. know, it seemed to work. It's saying bad magic number, but it did load something up. Ah, from disk cache. So, don't know why Chrome so aggressively caches certain things. Still from disk cache. So do I need to go into settings again? Go like that, so that the actual JavaScript of the page. There we go. So now that's not coming from the cache. If we uncheck that, so now all of this is coming from memory cache or the disk cache, but this one isn't, which is good. What we will have to do is remember that changes to the JavaScript or the HTML might not happen, so let's turn that back on, but then we can just close the DevTools. Okay. I also kind of want to get the game to tell the screen what size it should be. Prevent caching of WebAssembly. Right, so in fact that'll be somewhere in this file. So we can tell it to start here, but this gets a message called, okay, so we do init and init complete. We set the dimensions and we get dimensions complete back, but what if this returned, or we just have another method of get screen dimensions, something like that. What methods do we have to play with? Let's go into the loader and find out. Instantiate demangle. What else? Extended exports. Let's see everything that's going into this. So we've got memory. We have new pin, unpinned, collect. get string, new array, get array view. Copies and erase values from the module's memory and files the array type from RDDI. I think get array is possibly what I want. So I just pass it in an array pointer when I get an array. So let's make a new method. Do is screen size pointer equals loaded module dot instance dot exports dot get screen size, I guess. And then we just take that pointer and convert it. Okay, what next? Well, we actually need to make this method and we need to make this do something. Is that actually a get object? Don't think so. I could get a string and turn it into JSON, but I don't particularly want to do that. So all of this is arrays. And we're back to the top. So yeah, looks like no object stuff just yet, which is understandable. It's got to be a lot more complicated than arrays. So, let's do this. So just convert the array that we will be generating into an object. So here we can do this, and we can pass that through here into the main JavaScript. Which dimensions complete. And let's try put it into a different method. Now, what do I want to do? Style equals document dot create element. Style. So other arguments. Options. What does that give us? Is. Don't know what is. So let's leave it, and we'll set the type as text/CSS. Then I guess set the text content to be in our HTML. I want to do something like this. Set the width and the height based on the screen size. Then append it to the head. I might need to add important modifiers to these, which I don't generally like doing, but this is a very specific reason for that. Twitch is telling me my bitrate's down again, so I'll turn off the stream preview. I do actually have a solution for this. I'm assuming I just got hit by the Windows update where it's making things less efficient, but I thought that was mainly GPUs, and I don't use the GPU a whole lot for this. But I did realise that a PC that someone gifted to me recently is actually slightly more powerful than my current one if I put my graphics card in it. So that's my main job for tomorrow. I'll swap them out and see if I can use that, and if it still doesn't work, then I'll just use that as a streaming PC and put a capture card in it so that my main PC just has to drive the code and the window, and I have a completely dedicated PC with a capture card for everything else. So, in index, export function, what did we call it? Get screen size. And it will return what shall we have it as? I guess have it as an F32 for accuracy. So we now know the width should be boundaries x plus visible x times by upscale multiplier times by game state character width. We can do the same for height. So how many of these need to be converted? Boundaries y, visible y, controls y. And character height. So character height should still be an F32. Upscale multiplier is a U8. So that needs to be changed, otherwise it'll complain. And rightly so. And I believe all of these are U8s, but we can just do a single F32 cast after we've added them all together. And then return it. Okay, yeah, my bitrate seems to be way more stable now. Although, the annoying thing is, Twitch doesn't actually seem to tell me what my bitrate is. The bar goes red or blue, but it always hangs around 2400-2500 kilobits. Maybe that just doesn't update ever. Which is like, what's the point in having that overlay if it only loads the first time and then doesn't update? But what we will have to do is bring this back up. Did not like something there. So Yeah. So perhaps we need to do a console log of what gets returned. I did not need to rebuild that. That is not what I expected. Okay, so what gets returned from this? Well, that's kind of more what I expected. Can I do get a review? Is that what I need? Uint 8 array. Let's go and look at the docs. So, example. Create array, randomize array, sum array. Pin, unpin, get array. Create an array in WebAssembly and get a reference to it. Note that the array is not reachable from within WebAssembly, only externally, so we should pin it to prevent it from becoming garbage collected. So let's look at create array again. So do I just need to call pin? Or do I need to explicitly in here? Because here it says int 32 array, so do I need to do float 32 array? So how do we... something like that maybe? No. in their index. That's how they get the array pointer, although they do pin it. Yeah, okay, so let's try the pin. I'm still calling get array view. Let's swap that to get array and try again. Oop. No. Okay. So how do I set that? You know, it's actually going to be easier and quicker if I just split this up. So here, get screen width, chance an F32. Get screen height also returns F32. Then in here we just do get screen height and get screen width. And we'll move our log down to here. Screen size is not defined. 50. That might have been at least part of our problem. Okay, Okay, so now we're getting a sensible value from here. So, doesn't like text content. Shall we do inner text? Inner HTML. No. Style.type. Append child create text node. Okay. That's better. And now we get our cursor back, and we don't have any scroll bars. Okay, so it took a little longer and a little bit more wrangling. Hey Al, didn't see you there. My mic is actually up here. Yep. In fact, let's show you. Is the volume okay? So my mic is actually just there, and the arm just clips onto the desk there. Yeah, let me know how the music sounds compared to my voice. I'm still playing around with it a bit. Yeah, it's a Blue Yeti. I've had the Blue Yeti for a long while, but whenever I had it on my desk, it would just pick up too much noise from my computer, so mounting it like that seems to have done well. Is the music low or is my voice low? Ah, that's cool. I've heard that roads are really good. Music and voice are both pretty low. Okay then. Let's. The mic there is actually at the max. Let's turn the music up slightly. And let's go into Windows settings to see if I can do anything about the mic. Okay, let me know if that is any better. Ah, perfect. Okay, Awesome. Yes, I am using OBS Studio at the moment, and it's got lots of sliders there, but I guess there's also gain filters I can add on top of that. So, yeah. Yeah, I've just realised that one advantage to... I hid the mouse when it's over the game screen, and one advantage to that is you can't tell when it's lagging behind the mouse. It looks a lot smoother now that you can't see the mouse going ahead of it. Yeah, I've heard Streamlabs. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. I'm guessing Streamlabs has a bit of extra functionality or something. Built-in widgets. Yeah, I've been playing around. I installed Tuner. Ah, very nice. Is it free or paid? Might have to take a look into it. I'm guessing all of the profiles and everything just copy over. So the subscription might just be a sort of thank you then, I guess. So, increase the resolution of the end screen. Did we manage to finish that? Yeah, definitely something I'll take a look into when I get a chance. So the only thing I need to do is work out why these buttons are appearing in the wrong order. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what we are doing at the moment is these two buttons have been added to a UI panel. So I tell the game engine where the panel location is and it just lays them out horizontally. I guess the sub fee is just kind of targeting the people who make a lot of money on Twitch are probably going to find it really, really useful. So that kind of fee is aimed at them because it's more palatable to them, and I guess it's like mobile games, isn't it? You get lots and lots of users, and then some of the users will pay, and some of the users will become really big, and once they're big, they'll start paying. To be honest, it's one of the better monetization strategies I've seen. Yeah, so the complicated thing about this panel is I've told it to display in the center, which I do by passing a -1 in the X position. And so let's see what comes out when we render these two. None of these have any padding at the moment, so if I show you the file, so what I've got here in the end slate is a controls panel, which I say is -1 for display horizontal center, and 25 for display on the 25th row. And into that I put the restart button and then the continue button. And then when all the render code finishes, it will call this method, and it should lay it out fairly well. But I think I am going to let's log this out. Panel drop position. Maybe it's this. Maybe this only needs to happen in here. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all having a good day. Today we are doing some assembly script, and that's basically taking TypeScript and turning it into WebAssembly. and what we are using that for is a Ascii Lemmings game. So, what are we going to do now? We need to build it. Okay, we are trying to be very inclusive in this stream, and coming in and saying that there's only 2 genders is not inclusive. So, that sorted out the button order. So we just need to work out how to adjust the central position. It is actually not the truth. There's a lot of biology behind it, and there's like 16 different biological markers as to gender, and they very rarely will agree. So, like, even from a very strict scientific biological point of view, there's a lot more than just 2 genders, and that doesn't even bring into brain chemistry or anything like that. Okay, look, I don't want to argue about inclusivity on this stream. If you're not going to be inclusive and you're not going to be respectful of how people define themselves, then this probably isn't the right stream for you. Well, if you're all just going to troll me, you can go away. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. Okay, let's actually get to some code instead of feeding the troll, shall we? So our problem is the this line was being called down here, which meant that it was throwing everything off when the label position hadn't been set. So we've got that fixed, and now the start of the panel is displaying in the center of the screen, but we kind of need to know the width of the entire panel before we render it so that we can offset the start position, which is going to be the difficult bit. So maybe we take some of the stuff out of here and then render text to screen can use it, and also, or maybe I can just combine the panels straight off. Okay. And looks like we've got a lot of viewers. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good evening. We're doing some assembly script here, which is using TypeScript / JavaScript to create WebAssembly, and what we've got going is basically an Ascii Lemmings game, so we can do things like get them to build, and we can get them to dig down, and we've got the exit set up here. And what we're currently trying to do is work out how we get the position of our buttons in the right place. We've got some dynamic positioning going on. So got anything good to drink, Al? So I think most of this we can take out into a function. Orchard Thieves Cider. Nice. So we've got all of this in here, then we just return the text at the end. Then and a packet of peanuts. One thing quenches the thirst and the other makes you more thirsty, eh? So this one, yeah, so what we can do now that we've split this off is I guess try and combine several characters all at once. The tricky bit is getting the border around it. Although I guess we don't need to combine them at this stage, we just need their various sizes. I might have to do a 2-pass render on this. So if I take this out as well, pass in the text we just generated, and we can just return the size straight off. Then here we can do that. Now, what that lets us do is do a loop up here, and then we can store the sizes in an array. And we can get the rendered text array from the text of the element. Then get the size. It's just returning a vet2, that's fine. And if we store these texts as we go, we can possibly do this in one pass after all. got all of that. Now I guess all of this can come out into its own method as well. So what we want to pass in here is the text, which is a string array. We want to pass in the position, and we want to pass in the label dimensions. Which is a rect. And then we've got these things which I seem to be forever passing between methods, and I'll probably have to refactor it at some point. And then here we just call the new method. That means up here, once I've been through this loop, I can just do this. That can go there, because we don't want to render anything which isn't visible. So at this point I think we can define last label dimensions once we've got all of our sizes. In fact, if we make size... No, we can keep it that, but we can also do a panel size as just a single vec2. And then here we can add on to the panel size X and Y. Actually, no, we don't want to add on Y. Because it's only one line usually. So down here, don't want to do anything if there's no sizes, because that means there's nothing visible. Panel size dot y equals, actually, don't need to do that bit, but we just need to do a maximum of the current panel size or current panel height and the y size, that the panel size dot y is just the biggest of all of them. And now last label dimensions. So here, I guess we need to do if next label position dot x is -1, what do we do down here? So let's make helper methods. So map width in pixels, and that returns a I16 just take this, okay, so we don't actually need it in pixels, do we? Yeah, so let's just copy this straight off. And up here. We just need to swap out a few variables. So now we know where our fast element's going to go, theoretically. I think the rest, if we put that back down there, the rest should just work itself out, I think. And that looks pretty central to me. Yeah, it might be a little bit off, but I think it's good. It's a lot of extra code for what we needed, but let's just check. Did I use our new method for this? No. Okay, so what we can do here is render text array, the current text element, position is next label position, so render UI label. Where is render UI label? Ah, it's right there. So yeah, it passes in the default for border and color. So we've got our position. Label dimensions just needs the size, so I guess this bit can I guess I don't necessarily need this, because I can take care of position outside of this. So literally all I need is this call. Then up here we can just replace a few things out. So position is next label position. Border is, I'm going to say we only want a border if the let's get rid of that as well. So we want another array of booleans. And we're only going to have a border if the panel item is a UI control instead of a UI label. And then we should be able to get rid of these. yeah, so we don't actually need this anymore. We can do if just do this under here. Guess size is I.x. Then that's much simpler. Well, I say much simpler, there's a lot more lines of code there. But hopefully it helps us solve our problem of positioning the elements. So start. Well, this isn't right. All of the texts are the same. Okay. So, here we go. That needs to be I knew it would be something like that. There we go, we've got all of our labels back. But it looks like we can't click on any of them. Probably because we're not setting their position anymore. Okay, really need to make a class for these. So now we can track which panel is being rendered, because some of them might not be if they're not visible. And then it's not a panel index, is it? It's a panel item index. Then we just set the position here to be next label position, and that should flow through to our event model to let it know where it actually got rendered on the screen this frame, and apparently not. We need to clone it. Otherwise, the next thing that gets rendered will overwrite everything that's been set to that. Because JavaScript does a lot of references, I have been finding out. There we go. Got there in the end. And okay, well, we're still getting a border around everything. I might just add that as another bug and come back to it sometime in the future. Looking good. Thanks, Al. So, adding a bug for... oh, hang on. I know why it is. It's because these bits aren't being rendered in a panel. So, render UI label. And so here, we need to do the same thing. There we go. So, yeah, now these bits in the panel don't have borders around them. And these labels don't have borders. It's looking a bit better. And these just barely have a border. I don't know if it picks up on screen. They've got a slight inset border, but these bits don't. So that's good. And didn't commit any of this, did I? No. Okay, so yeah, I was really tempted to make it spell out cute, but I was trying to keep the order that it was in the game. What I had before was the E was a asterisk because I thought that looked like an explosion until someone pointed out that CU asterisk T was potentially something which could get misunderstood. So right, so we've got about half an hour left, I think. Let's take a look at these issues. So I think we have now officially increased the resolution of the end screen. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's using our new font renderer. So let's tick that off. So next up, let's give this one a go. Use a reskinned brick tile to allow slight changes in ground level. So reskinning items. That's going to be a bit of a challenge, I think. Now, what I do at the moment is each so if we look at the standard level, like level 1 for example, our map is like this. So each one of these will get scaled up 4 times. Not necessarily scaled up, but here every single G is appearing 4 times in a square. And I use these symbols in the map. I've got a list of all the symbols here and what they mean. But what I've also got is this map to tiles function, which turns it into a grid. What I'm thinking of is if instead of a single character for every grid square we have a class, and inside that class is the symbol to tell what the tile is, and then a symbol to say what it should render as. But so if we do a search for level tiles, there is currently 26 places where that's used. So that might be something that we take on for a full stream instead of trying right at the end. So let's have a look at level codes. Let's have let's have a look at fun, just dig, and I'm hoping somewhere here access codes. What are these ads? Here, something like this. So let's do the DOS version. So this is going to be the level code, and what I could do is let's put a codes.ts file here, and it's not an interface I want, it's an enum. So we want fun let's see, what was it? Fun, tricky, taxing mayhem. And then it's not an enum here, is it? It's const level codes, and the type is going to be a Let's define a type. That's actually what I wanted to do. So the type is going to be an object with key equals difficulty let's call this level difficulty codes, and level codes will be a bit of trickiness. Why doesn't it like this? Must be string number symbol. Okay, fine, that's a U32. Ah, I've got an equal. So maybe it'll accept difficulty now. Yes. So what we've got here is still doesn't like key. I'm hoping that's going to compile. So, alright Al, thanks for coming along and have a good night. Catch you later. So we've got difficulty.fun, and inside that we have level 1. I've just realised the other difficult bit about this is we're not actually accepting keyboard input yet. Okay, so let's just get this map working, and then we can look at everything else later. So we've got the title screen, and here we're getting level 1 directly from here, but what if level difficulty codes, difficulty.fun, there. And here we just do new level. We might need to call it something else other than level. Okay, yeah, so this is a problem right away. The level constructor has all of these things that we need to pass into it. And the subclasses take care of that for us. But what if we had another constructor? Not allowed. So what if we just gave it default arguments? So now, in our title screen, we can construct it. Doesn't like that. So, type expected. Well, that is a type. Okay, let's fall back to doing it as a class. So we start off with the level code, which is... Oh, come on, there's got to be dictionaries. Oh, map. Of course it's got map. I've used it before. So we just need to do map difficulty type of level, and this is no, actually this is string type of level, and this is difficulty level codes. Equals okay. Has no index signature. Oh. So level difficulties dot set difficulty dot fun new. Let's comment this out so it knows what it's doing. Will it now let me do no new map string type of level there, and then level difficulty codes difficulty dot fun dot set. Does it not like accessing it like that? Yeah. So in fact, let's do it like this. And then here we can just do fun levels dot set. Pull that in. Then here we just need to do dot get dot get type expected. Type of level is type. That's annoying. I thought it might be a bit tricky to get it done like that. So, can we do type level factory equals this, and here we can do I wonder if we can just do a generic factory. T. Oh, come on. So, type of T. T extends type of level. There's probably a way to do this, but I do not think I am smart enough to work it out. Could we do... type of level? Will it like that? Level factory there. Actually, what we need to do is return a level factory. So again, that seems to be compiling. See if it actually compiles, because there's a difference between no type errors and actually compiling. No, it doesn't like that again. So yeah, so I'm going to have to scrap generic factory and just do, in fact this is probably shorter. And in fact, this means that we don't actually need these generics in the level, I don't think. Let's take a copy anyway and just revert it straight off. Then, yeah. Cannot find name game state. Which means something I changed in the title screen has introduced a circular reference. So I'm now no longer referencing level 1 directly, but I am referencing it from a sub-level. in codes, and no, it does not like that. But what we can do is the way we solve it every time. We use our generic, which has very little. Nope, it still doesn't like it. So all I'm doing is no, I didn't think that would work. I don't see what the problem is, because this loads level 1 just as it did before. It's now loading base level, but base level's fine because it's loaded into the index anyway, and this is only a couple removed from index. But is it because of the way it's handling it in the constructor? So in index I would need to total screen setup. Nope, still doesn't like it. I think I am going to have to leave it there for tonight and come back tomorrow night. Hopefully sleeping and thinking about it during the day tomorrow is going to give me some indication of what's going on. But thank you for watching. I've got a Discord in my profile if you want to come say hi, and whatever else you're doing today, have a good one.